Hi, this is Amy. Thanks for stopping by. This evening I'm going to do the part 2 of adding the leaves to my tray. Again, this is a cabinet door. I have a lot of cabinet doors that we were given by a friend for whatever reason. They're not using them. The person bought a bunch of them to redo their kitchen and decided to they weren't going to do it. So anyhow, I'm using Thicket green, which is the darker green, and forest moss. Of course, as I've mentioned before, I am into using these two colors together. You can use different combinations if you wish, up to you. I double loaded my brush, and then I'm just going to do some random leaves here. I like this shape, so that's why I'm doing this shape. Trying to make them look decent. They're just single little leaves, that's all. Nothing special. I am using a flat brush. It's actually a new brush. It's a size 12. And like I said, these are just kind of randomly, however shape you want them to be. Nothing special about it, just kind of like that. And you can do them where they're just like that, which is more of a one-stroke type petal. You can bring it out like that, or you can just do one, just come down the side if you want. And there's just no rhyme or reason here. You know me. If you follow my videos, I'm pretty much just however you can get it to do. I mean, if you want to spend more time on them, you're welcome to do so. I don't really, like I said, I don't really care too much about it. You can do it like that, where you're basically doing a stroke the same way, just doubling it, kind of gives you a little line down the center. Now it's kind of a neat look. This one more of a crisper edge there for the finish. And of course my paint is my folk Art Enamels. And as I mentioned, it's the Thicket and the forest moss. You can use just one color if you want. I just happen to like to add more colors. You can do 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors, whatever you want. Again, that's just purely, this is your work. Make it what you want it to be. It's the main thing. And if you're achieving the look you want, that's what you do. Make it fun and pretty, you know. You want it to visually be nice, so that's what you need to think about too. But it definitely does not have to be perfect. What in life is, right? And this part takes a little bit more time because they're smaller and there's more of them. But just take your time. There's no race. At least none that I'm aware of. This one's a little more difficult because I have the little ledge here. I'm trying to get it to look nicely. I mean, you can make them touch the other flowers if you want. I try to, as best as possible, keep them from touching. No particular reason. I mean, in some of my, like my glass painting and that type of thing, they'll touch, you know, or go over the top of another flower, that kind of thing. That's fine. That's kind of how it is really in nature. And you're going to have, you know, leaves and other flowers touching. Not a biggie. Really, I'm not putting these in any particular manner. Just however I think that they look nice. I'm just really into people being creative and making things the way they want them to look, and not that they have to be a certain way. And I'm sorry if I'm not more precise for you if you're a precise person, because I'm just not. And I don't like when people think things have to be a certain way. That's just not how I roll. That may drive some people crazy, which is fine. To each their own, right? Say, yep, to each their own. Now, like I said, I primarily use the flat brushes when I'm painting. I don't know why. It's probably one of my favorites. And that's something too that, you know, you really just have to determine on your own which style of brush works best for you. You might have a favorite. You might have one that you like better than the other, and you might be someone that uses multiple types, and that's fine. Because you definitely can achieve different looks based on the type of brush you're using. I do believe, though, that it's important to use halfway decent brushes. I've had some people say, oh, brush makes no difference. Yeah, it does. I truly believe that it does. It's just not a matter of, you know, cheap brush, because a lot of times if they're cheap brushes, they fall apart while you're painting, and then you've got half of your brush in the painting, and it's just not, that's not what you want. I really like the one-stroke brushes. And I've had people ask me, well, what's a one-stroke brush? Well, Donna Dewberry has a lot to do with that, and that's where the one-stroke was really, I don't know, kind of, she has a lot to do with creating that style of painting. If not, I know there's other painting techniques that showed like double loading and all that, but I don't think they were ever called one-stroke per se. And the one thing neat about the one-stroke is that you can actually create a pretty nice painting in a matter of, you know, a few strokes, double loading your brush. And I think that was the whole purpose. Now, for some people, I think it's easy, but for some people it's actually more difficult. I have no idea why, but they do. And you know, some people, and I really not a you know, free-handed painter per se, as far as like how some of my artist friends paint, so I don't really get, mine is more of a brushstroke type painting that I'm familiar with, and theirs is more of a, gosh, I don't even know how to say it, like they just do it in layers, and and that kind of thing, and I like to get things done quickly. I don't know why that is either. I don't know if I'm impatient, could be, or what. Haven't decided that one yet. Even with glass painting, one of the problems I have with some of the painting styles is that you have to let it dry before you continue working on it. And I'm just used to being able to buzz through stuff, and it's dried enough by the time I'm ready to do another coat or move on to the next design. Sounds like my dog's on the table again. So I have a dog that has cancer, and she will not be with us probably a whole lot longer. But she sure, even though we've known it for a while, sure isn't her regular antics as far as stealing things and wanting to eat all the time and getting on the table, doing that kind of craziness. I mean, it's amazing. I hear my granddaughter upstairs yelling at her. And you'd think she would learn, because she actually got her leg caught in a chair not too long ago, up on the table doing that. Scared me to death because I didn't know what was going on, and she started screaming. I thought, oh great. The animals, love them to death. They're crazy, especially the ones I seem to get. They're my little loves, but they sure are a handful. I hope you're enjoying this. Sorry that it's taking so long to do. But like I said, I know that it's just going to be a long process because of all the leaves that have to be painted. I hope you don't mind. I will put in the notes what I'm using, what kind of paint, that type of thing, so you have that information. Notes on the video. Just make sure you scroll down far enough to see them. And of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. This is fun to paint, actually. I just think they make nice gifts. And some of mine are going to probably be very plain, but you can actually just do plain ones and just put a cute handle on them. If you're not into really painting a design on them per se. Yeah, my dog that's sick, we have, I did some research after we were told that she has liver cancer back in June, and I did some research. I thought it was just kind of a hard thing because they opened her up and found that this is what was going on, and that we could take her home or we could have her put to sleep. Well, we decided, she had no signs of this before, And so it was kind of hard for us to say, well, just put her to sleep. So we're like, no, let's close her up, bring her home. And we'll just love her until it's time to say goodbye. So I started doing some research and found a product that I've been using, and I'm going to do a video on it, just for anybody else that may have an animal with cancer. I absolutely love the product. I'm truly a believer that it's given my dog a little bit more time here with us, which is, you know, the whole goal. I knew having lung cancer, or not lung cancer, but liver cancer, as bad as she has it, wasn't going to cure her. We weren't expecting that. But it was something that I really think the doctors thought she would not last this long. I'm a true believer in that. And you know, she is still here with us. My goal is to hopefully get her into January, where she'll at least be 12 when she passes. You know, I was trying my hardest to keep her around because we lost a dog that probably could have been around a lot longer had we did better care with the teeth. He definitely had issues with his gums. So I thought, well, you know, since I learned that lesson, I'm going to make sure I'm doing all that. And I did, and then come to find out that this dog has the liver cancer. So put her on this medicine. It's something that she gets. It's like a super, I don't know, super drug that she gets at mealtime. And then they have little, what they call wafers, which are kind of hard for them to chew. I mean, her especially. So I have to break them up, and I'm sorry that I'm moving this a little bit here. Trying to get to this. But anyhow, to break them up for her to be able to do them, because they're pretty hard. So that's probably one disadvantage of it, is that they are pretty hard. But you know, get them in her, which is good. And you know, I really think it's given her a little bit more time with us, which is what we wanted. So I'm blessed, feel blessed that I was able to find these. Now the one thing is just actually drops that go in her food, so that's pretty easy to get. You know, there's some days I can't get the harder pills in her, but at least she's getting the liquid ones, which that's important. But they're just a super potent supplement, you know, vitamins. And I think, you know, that has given her some extra time, which I feel very lucky to have been able to get with her. Like I said, eventually I'll be doing a video on that one, because I really do want to share it with people, especially if you have an animal. If you're an animal lover and you have one that's not healthy, it's definitely something I would recommend. And I don't make any money from them. I'm not a spokesperson or whatever. Just my own experiences with it. And I have shared that with somebody not too long ago that found out kind of similar to our situation, where the animal was diagnosed with cancer, and they just had no clue either that their dog was sick. My dog just went in for a yearly checkup, and I was told that, which very shocking, very shocking. But what are you gonna do, you know? We all have to come and go, and that's just part of life, which is hard to take. You know, to me, my pets are my family. There's a lot of people that feel that way. Anyways, sorry to bring that up, but Just thought I would keep the conversation going too while we're getting close to the end on this. Alright, so I may go through here and do a few more petals, but basically just stand back and look. If you feel like there's an area that you want to fill in a little bit more, you know, go ahead and do so. You might even want to give it a little bit of a break and then come back and look at it again. You know, it's just really however you're feeling about it. And if you're going to make one, I'll probably do some more. I think like here's a spot that I'd like to fill in a little bit more. And then I might do some more coming down on the sides here. Like I said, these are a little bit harder to try to get. These to look nice on the side. And I see someone, since I turned the tray, that I might go back over and do a little bit more on those to fill them in a little bit. It's okay to have some of the ivory showing, that's fine. But some of them I kind of feel like is a little bit too much ivory showing. And I really couldn't see that too well when I was painting it. And then what I'll do after I'm done with this part of it, of course let it dry, and then I will get some varnish sprayed on it. And then it will be time to put the handles on and consider it finished. And I think it'll be really pretty, just a pretty item to have displayed in your home, or maybe to serve people, like guests that come over. You know, serve drinks on it or whatever. I wouldn't put any food directly on the painted, although the paint is non-toxic. I wouldn't put any food directly on it. However, if you put it on something like a dish or napkin, towels, whatever you have, it would be fine. And then just wipe it clean when you're done. I'm going to bring this leaf up here a little bit. Probably have to turn it around and look at it too. It'll help some light there, I'm sure. And like I said, even with the flowers, if you feel like with the flowers themselves that you wanted to do more painting on them, you can certainly do that if you you don't like how some of the colors ended up. You have to work on this leaf a little bit more. I'll have to turn it around too and see it. But anyways, you get the gist of it, I'm sure. I think I'm going to leave it at that until I'm totally finished with it, and I will come back and show you the finished product. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. Feel free to contact me. Thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate it, and you have a good evening. Oh, I always forget to say this. Please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share it. I'd love to have more subscribers. I'm trying to build my channel as much as possible. If you have any suggestions on that, just let me know too. And have a good evening.